This video is going to show you the multitude of ways that you can work with alerts in MotiveWave, and it's not just being able to set alerts that move over or under a certain price. It's really quite powerful. When you get an alert, a window like this is going to pop up. It's going to tell you the symbol, tell you why the alert triggered, it triggered at what value, and if it placed an order at that alert, it will tell you the status of the order. It will give you some comments that you've put in, and I'll show you how to do that to help you identify why you set the alert. And then lastly, and unfortunately I can't show you any because it's Sunday, and my alert history doesn't show you any alerts where I had a chart that was open. But here I was working with the stock symbol open. If that chart had been, if open had been one of the charts that was currently now available to me, then there would have been a blue bar here that said chart, and I could click on it and it would take me to wherever I have that window. And I mean, that open chart, it could be, any one of these, but it would immediately take me to it. But when I was starting this video, that open symbol chart was not available to me. So let's show you how to set some alerts. So I'm just going to pop up the S&P 500. The easiest way to set an alert is to go into the right-hand column, click on the Control key, and press on the Control key and click and say Create an Alert. And then you want it for price crossing above or below. If you say crosses, then it's going to trigger an alarm every time it goes over and under. And that can drive you crazy. I mean, the bell can go off 100 times if it bops around plus or minus 1 cent from where you've set it. So say crosses above or below. If you want it to trigger multiple times, that's where you set it. This is your label. So you could say buy here, and then in your alerts window, I'm going to show you that later where that pops up. What do you want to show the alert? I presume you want to show alerts. You want to play a sound, you can use a preset sound, use your own sound. You want to display the cancel button, label, and a line. And where do you want the label to be? In the middle of your chart, left of your chart, or the right of your chart? And here you can kick off a trade. When your alert goes off, it can buy or sell for you out of any one of your particular accounts. And then you click OK. But it's not going to place an order for me, so let me go in there and let me cancel that order. So here's the 3 things you could set. Here's your label, here's your line, and here's your cancel button. So I'm going to cancel that order. That's the simple way to set an alert. When that alert goes off, right here under signal, it would say buy now, or whatever label, whatever note you had given it. Now let's look at some of the more cool ways that alerts work. Let me pull up a study. Let me bring in a Bollinger Band study. Let me draw some lines. Let me go into my components and let me draw a trend line. So I'll drag out the trend line and I will, and I will just very quickly draw any old kind of a trend line. So that's a trend line that I like. Let me also show you another one. Let me pull up an angle, and I'm going to right click and say flip the wedge. Right click and say flip the wedge, and then I'm going to pretend that we have a bear flag going here, a bull flag going here. Come on. Let me anchor it right there. That's not wanting to cooperate with me. Let me get back to that later. So let's see how we can set some alerts here. Let me get rid of this trend line. I can right-click on this trend line and I can create an alert so that when price crosses the trend line, either goes below it or goes above it. So I say when price goes below the trend line, I want to set an alert and I want to trigger multiple times. So that will set an alert for me, and you'll see that that alert comes up and shows you that it's going to trigger right here. Now, as price moves on, in this case every 30 minutes, my alert is going to move in a downward fashion. It's going to move down because that's the slope of the trend line. In the next half hour, my alert is going to change to the intersection of price and that trend line. The same works with these angles that I was trying to set before. So let me just show something rather silly like this. And I can right-click on a flag, and I can say, oops, I can right-click on a flag. It's not letting me create an alert, maybe because it's not anchored. So I can right-click. It's not letting me create an alert. But believe me, this will work so that you can have it go, it'll set an alert for you above or below the bear flag. That works. Now, if I right-click here, as I did before, to say create an alert, I can click indicator, and then any of the indicators that I have set up on the chart can be set as triggers. So I can say I want it to trigger at the top of the Bollinger Band, and then my alert will click trigger at the top of the Bollinger Band. Remember, this one was for the trend line. If I have some moving averages in here, and I'll just add one of my templates for moving averages, now I can right-click and I can say create an alert indicator for whenever I trigger, whenever I move past the SMA 50 or the EMA 50 or the SMA 50, because I've got them both there. So I say the SMA 50, and it'll create an alert to get set off when price crosses the simple moving average 50. And as price moves and as the 50 moving average changes, your alert is going to tag along with you. So any of the indicators you have on the chart can be set. I mean, if you're an Ichimoku trader like I am, there's a whole bunch of alerts that could be set there, and you can say create an alert indicator, and you can have it go off the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen, the Chiku span, or the A and B of the cloud. So it's really quite brilliant the way they've allowed you to set the number of ways you can set alerts. If you want to cancel all your alerts, you can right-click and you can cancel all of your alerts. There you have it. Very, very powerful ways to set alerts, get alerts to trigger orders for you, and get alerts to give you reminders, and your alerts will also enable you to get immediately back to the chart so that you can view your alert and try to remember why you set it.